Have you ever wondered how to truly unlock your potential? Or, what you were really designed to do? That deep inner knowing that often just sits there unspoken.
hmm
Today, we're doing a deep dive into something called Destiny by Design. It's an incredible program, really rooted in a spiritual perspective, exploring how you are uniquely and wonderfully made for a
Yeah,
purpose.
a profound purpose.
We'll be pulling out some key insights on how to understand that inner knowing, figure out the obstacles that might get in your way, and really embrace the power of your unique design and, well, your gifts.
And our mission today really is to take a whole stack of insights from a recent seminar on this and help you pull out the most important nuggets. It's about understanding your personal destiny.
Moving from asking, how do I know?
Exactly, moving from asking to actually truly knowing, deep down.
That concept of knowing, that deep inner certainty you're describing, it sounds incredibly powerful. What is it about that kind of conviction? Why does it bring such boldness and peace?
Well, it's a sense that goes beyond just logic,
Yeah.
or needing someone else to tell you. When you truly know something deep inside,
Yeah.
it brings this incredible boldness and joy and a peace that's just really stabilizing. It's often talked about in spiritual circles as like a divine insight,
Okay.
kind of like that profound idea in the prayer, be still and know that I am God. That stillness, that inner knowing. That's what the seminar aimed to awaken in people about their own destiny and calling.
That's a really powerful foundation. And what's fascinating, I think, is where this Destiny by Design program actually came from. How did it start?
Yeah, the origin story is pretty compelling. It was really created out of a very practical need. What they found was a lot of people weren't pursuing more training or second-level schools,
Okay.
not because they lacked passion, but just because they didn't really know what they were called to do. They lacked clarity,
Ah, so it was a roadblock.
a huge roadblock. And this need was, well, dramatically confirmed by a pivotal vision that Joy Dawson had. She's a significant figure in this movement.
What was the vision?
She described seeing, in a spiritual sense, Jesus weeping. And the reason was because, as she put it, people aren't coming into their destiny.
Wow. That really hits home. It underscores the importance, the urgency.
It really does.
Yeah.
And clearly it resonated. I mean, look at the reach now. This material has been tested for a decade.
Right.
It's now taught in 76 nations, translated into 35 languages,
Yeah.
over 150 teachers. That's a massive impact.
Incredible. And it's not just theoretical, is it? Like right here in Kona, there's the Discovery Center.
Exactly. Born from Darlene Cunningham's 20-year vision. A physical place dedicated to helping people figure out their calling.
It just shows how vital understanding your calling is considered within this framework.
And that raises a really important point, connecting to the bigger picture.
Mm.
Your purpose, your destiny, it's not some external thing someone gives you.
Mm-hmm.
It's genuinely in your design. It's always been part of you.
Always been there.
Think about an architect. They'd never start building without knowing the purpose of the building, right?
Makes sense?
So in the same way, the seminar argues that a divine creator is a detailed God. You see it in the Bible, like the incredibly detailed descriptions of the temple.
Yeah.
That signifies meticulous care.
Okay.
And the teaching is that you were designed with that same meticulous care.
That idea of a detailed design for each one of us, that's profound. How does really getting that understanding your personal design impact someone if they're feeling lost or unsure?
Oh, it changes everything. Your whole perspective shifts.
Yeah.
Instead of feeling like you need to search outside yourself for your purpose,
Right.
you realize it's more like uncovering an internal blueprint. Like Jeremiah 1.5 says, before I formed you in the womb, I knew you, or Psalm 139, I am fearfully and wonderfully made.
Wow.
Your very being, your makeup, is perfectly suited for what you're called to do.
Yeah.
Think about that story the speaker shared about her nephew.
The pilot.
Yeah. As a little kid, all he did was play with airplanes, throwing army men down a zip line, pretending they were flying. And what's he do now? He's a pilot for Southwest Airlines. It was an innate inclination. It was always in his design.
That's a perfect illustration. It really shows how those early clues, those childhood things, can be so telling.
Exactly.
Which leads us right to one of the key questions from the seminar. What did you like to play when you were little? But maybe even more crucial, what did you like about it?
Yes. That second part is vital.
So what's the difference there between just a childhood hobby and something that's more like a prophecy of your destiny? Are there common feelings or patterns we should look for?
The key is what you liked about it. That reveals the underlying drive, the passion. And that's often consistent throughout your life. The seminar shared some amazing examples.
Like,
Well, think about Jesus at 12. He wasn't just among the teachers, the text says. He was asking questions, listening, and even they were amazed at his understanding. There was an engagement, an impartation happening.
That makes so much sense. Or the hairdresser who loved mowing lawns. It wasn't just mowing, it was the pursuit of perfection, getting every single blade just right, that drive for excellence.
Exactly. Or Winston Churchill as a kid, relentlessly strategizing with his toy soldiers, foreshadowing his future, right?
Totally. And Darlene Cunningham's daughter, Karen, lining up her dolls and teaching them.
And she grew up to head a preschool, teaching kids from all over.
Wow. And the dress designer for the Queen of England, making clothes for her dolls as a girl.
It points to the innate gift. And that incredibly moving story about Penny pretending her dolls were sick in orphanages.
And now she runs an orphanage in Thailand for children with HIV. It's heartbreaking, but also beautiful. These weren't just games.
They revealed something deep, even your own story you shared.
Oh, yeah.
Your love for adventure, climbing down cliffs, which led you towards missions. And how different that was from your sister, who loved making the backyard pretty, having tea parties.
Right. It seems so different on the surface. But her life-giving thing was rooted in home, in hospitality.
Exactly. And that didn't just vanish, did it?
No. Her joy in creating a welcoming space showed up in her work, making her dental office beautiful, so much so that patients thought she worked reception. And then later, she used her home extensively for hosting people, really living out that core desire. So these life-giving experiences, they're just those moments that genuinely bring you life fulfillment.
Yeah. For me, it was leading evangelism teams in Asia. I just thrived on the challenge, seeing people connect with faith.
Yeah.
That lit me up.
And your sister found it in hospitality.
Which she fully expressed later on. It shows those God-given dreams, they don't just disappear.
That's so hopeful, like the story of the girl who just loved kids.
Oh, that one's amazing.
Yeah.
Her calling was affirmed in the seminar, and literally that afternoon she gets a call offering her a job teaching English to kids in Korea.
Wow. Talk about timing.
And she said she just felt made for it. It clicked.
Yeah.
But here's the thing the seminar stresses. These innate desires, these callings, they're designed for multiplication, for growth, for impact.
Okay.
But there are also things that try to stop that.
Obstacles. Right. And the seminar uses the parable of the sower to explain these, which is really powerful. First, there's the wayside.
Yeah, where the seeds, the dreams get snatched away.
And that happens when we don't realize these dreams or ideas are actually significant, maybe even from God, or we just don't believe we can do them, or we make it all about ourselves.
That's a big one.
I remember when I first felt a nudge towards Asia during my DTS, that's a discipleship training school, I just dismissed it. I thought, I don't even know anyone from Asia. And poof, the thought was gone, snatched away.
Yeah, that happens so easily. Then there's the rocky soil. No root. People get excited initially, but fall away when the things get tough.
The temptation to avoid hard work, expecting it to be easy.
Exactly. Like that story of the anesthesiologist. He knew he could be a great timber doctor. He just felt it.
Right.
But he wouldn't do the extra 2 years of university required. Refused. And he said during surgeries, he'd literally have to close his eyes because he was so tempted to tell the surgeon what to do.
Oh my goodness, he closed himself off from his potential because it was hard.
Tragically, yes. Didn't want to put in the work.
And then the thorns, those things that just choke the life out of dreams. Worries, riches, pleasures.
Yeah, the sneaky ones.
The seminar had a really interesting take on worry, saying it's kind of like having more faith in the negative, in what could go wrong, than in what God has promised or shown you.
Which leads to trying to control things, like
Yeah.
Abraham and Sarah trying to force God's promise on their own timeline.
Right, and riches and pleasures. Well, Solomon wrote a whole book about how empty those can be in the end.
True. Pursuit of those alone doesn't fulfill.
And I definitely experienced the hard work part myself, trying to learn a language in Asia. It was not easy. Perseverance was essential.
Absolutely. Which brings us to the good soil, the harvest, where things do multiply. The seminar highlighted 4 keys for this.
Okay, what are they?
First, cultivating a noble and good heart, being surrendered to your higher purpose, being quick to own up to mistakes, and ready to receive encouragement and grace.
So, humility and teachability.
You got it. Second, learning to hear. Because insight, faith, it often comes through listening intently, waiting, reflecting, tuning into that inner guidance, like solar lights recharging in the sun.
That's a great image, recharging to shine.
It connects perfectly to that incredible story about the woman in Amsterdam. Remember her?
With the dream for the business in Indonesia from 1995.
Yes, that dream never left her. And when she was seriously ill, In the hospital, near death, she asked for her 1995 shoes, the ones that represented that dream, and put them on her chest.
As a symbol of holding on to it.
Exactly. And she recovered and went on to fulfill that dream, which highlights the third key, keeping the vision, going deeper, trusting, staying committed even when it's tough.
Wow.
And the fourth is simply persevering, not giving up. As Darlene Cunningham famously puts it, we listened, we obeyed, and we didn't give up.
Listen, obey, don't give up. Powerful.
And it's so crucial to remember. The potential is already inside you. Think about seeds. A tiny mustard seed grows into a huge plant. Yeast makes the whole dough rise. Or those Nakalan desert flowers.
Oh, yeah, the ones that bloom like crazy after just a little rain.
Exactly. The potential is just dormant, waiting for the right conditions.
Yeah.
It's already there within you.
Okay, this is really helpful. But let's dig deeper because our purpose isn't only about what we do, right? It's profoundly about who we are.
Absolutely foundational.
Our identity. The seminar talked about how our earliest identity messages, often formed before we're even 4 years old, become like our first truth.
Yeah, they sink in deep.
So it's vital to understand that our true identity, our real worth, does not rest on what we have done, good or bad.
Right.
But on who God says we are, on our core connection to something bigger, our inherent value.
It's like thinking about a priceless painting. Its value comes from the artist who created it, not from where it's hung or if it got scratched along the way.
Good analogy.
You are essentially a masterpiece because of your creator. And that verse, Galatians 2:20, I no longer live, but Christ lives in me. Imagine that, this powerful, guiding, authoritative presence living in you.
That changes how you see yourself.
Completely. It's so important to engage with that, to ask God, how do you actually see me? Remember the Play-Doh activity.
Yeah, visualizing that divine perspective.
And then affirming those truths. I am a child of God. I am God's workmanship, a citizen of heaven, alive, forgiven. These aren't just nice ideas. They're powerful truths to actually live by.
Okay, identity is foundational. Then there's character. I love Darlene Cunningham's analogy.
A bicycle?
Yes. The front wheel is your calling, your back wheel is your character. And
Yeah.
those character issues, pride, fear, unforgiveness, laziness, whatever can stir, they can seriously slow you down, like a flat back tire.
Perfect picture. You can have a clear direction, front wheel, but if the back wheel's flat, you're not going anywhere fast.
So if pride is an issue, the principle is God opposes the proud, but gives grace to the humble. Humility opens doors.
Right. If it's fear, remember that core truth. God has not given you a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind.
Power, love, sound mind, not fear. Forgiveness. The teaching is clear. Forgive as the Lord forgave you. Extend that grace.
Essential for moving forward, laziness. The encouragement is do not become lazy, but imitate those who through faith and patience inherit what is promised. Learn from those who persevere.
And unbelief. That quote is chilling. All that's necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing. It really underscores the cost of inaction, of not believing change is possible.
It really does. And your own story about your first marriage,
Yeah.
sharing that brings this character piece to life so powerfully.
Yeah, it was tough. Feeling like, as I said then, a total tank-out person, just defeated, ashamed.
But then you heard that message.
I am bigger than anybody's experience, and God will use it. That changed everything. And now, yeah, I often tell my worst story as my first story because it connects with people who are hurting.
See, that's transformation. That's why dealing with character stuff is so vital. It's not about perfection, but about allowing that growth, that healing in every part of us.
Absolutely. Okay, so identity, character. Now let's get into something really fun. Celebrating your personality, or what the seminar called your soul print.
Yeah, this part is fascinating.
The key insight here, which is so freeing, is that our personalities aren't mistakes. They're actually perfect for our calling.
Exactly. Not something to overcome, but something designed for your purpose.
Yeah.
Like using your dominant hand versus your non-dominant one.
Right. You can use both, but one just feels natural, more effective. It's your inclination.
And the soul print breaks this down into 4 dimensions, 4 preference pairs. The first is outward versus inward, which is about where you get your energy.
Extroverts versus introverts, basically.
Outward extroverts recharge by talking, processing things out loud with others. Inward introverts gain energy through quiet reflection, processing internally. And you see both in Jesus' life, right?
Yeah.
Ministering to huge crowds, engaging outwardly, but also strategically pulling away to pray, to reflect inwardly.
Good point. So how do we affirm both types?
Give the outward folks room to talk it out. Hmm. Give the inward folks time to think, and then make sure you specifically ask for their input, because they might not just jump in.
That's practical. Okay, what's the next dimension?
Sensing versus intuition. This is about how you prefer to take in information.
Something like using your five senses. Practical.
Exactly. Sensors are practical. They like facts, details, sequence, just the facts, man. They like instruction manuals.
Got it. And intuition.
Intuitive people are more big picture. They see patterns, possibilities, connections. They love brainstorming, thinking about the future, what if. They thrive on change.
Ah, so you need both, the visionaries and the implementers.
Absolutely vital. The big picture people cast the vision, see where you're going. The step-by-step people build the solid foundation to get you there. Like Darlene Cunningham intentionally staffing her weakness, surrounding herself with people who have complementary strengths.
Smart. Okay, dimension 3.
Thinking versus feeling. This is about how you prefer to make decisions.
Head versus heart.
That's a good shorthand.
Yeah.
Thinkers make decisions based on logic, objective analysis, cause and effect. They want to make the right, most logical decision.
Okay.
Feelers make decisions considering the impact on people, values, relationships. Harmony and empathy are really important. They want to make the decision that feels right for everyone involved.
And again, you need both perspectives for balanced decisions.
Definitely. They really complement each other. One brings the logical assessment, the other brings the human element.
Makes sense. And the last one.
Planned versus spontaneous. This is about how you like to live your day-to-day life, your lifestyle preference.
Planners versus go with the flow types.
Exactly. Planned people love structure, organization, schedules, lists. Knowing what's coming brings them comfort. They like closure.
I know some of those.
Me too. Spontaneous people, on the other hand, love flexibility, freedom, variety. They like keeping options open, discovering things as they go. Too much structure can feel stifling.
So the organized get things done on time, and the spontaneous spot opportunities and bring the fun.
Kind of. Both are necessary. The planners make sure the event actually happens. The spontaneous people might find a great unexpected detour on the way. The skits in the seminar apparently showed how these types can clash, but also how they can collaborate brilliantly when they appreciate each other's strengths. And the crucial point here is personality is not an excuse.
Right. You can't just say, oh, I'm spontaneous, so I didn't need to plan the catering.
Exactly. It's about understanding yourself and others so you can work together more effectively as, the body of Christ, leveraging everyone's strengths.
Okay, this is incredibly helpful for self-understanding and teamwork. Now, how do we activate all this? Let's talk about gifts.
Yes, unwrapping your gifts. Because gifts, whether natural talents or what some call spiritual aptitudes, they aren't meant to just sit there in the package.
They're meant to be used.
Absolutely. The joy really multiplies when you share them. And the core message is, everyone has gifts.
Yeah.
Strategically given to you to help you fulfill that unique design we've been talking about.
You mentioned earlier that feeling God's pleasure when using a gift. What does that actually look like? Can you give some examples?
It's that sense of flow, of rightness, of alignment, like you're doing what you were made to do. Think of Eric Liddell in Chariots of Fire, feeling God's pleasure when he ran.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's a drummer completely lost on the rhythm during worship, or even a headhunter who just has this knack, this joy in finding the absolute perfect person for a role. It just clicks for them.
Okay, I get that. It's an inner sense of alignment and joy.
Right, and examples are everywhere. Remember Hannah, who loved baking?
Yes.
She went to Cambodia and used that passion to train single women with children, empowering them with the skill. She combined her gift with her heart for people in need.
That's beautiful.
Or the woman whose passion was knitting. She knitted sweaters for unwed mothers for Christmas.
Yeah.
And somehow knitted the exact right number for the right gender in the right sizes without even knowing who they were for beforehand.
Wow, that's amazing. Talk about a gift being used purposefully.
It really is. It reminds me of Moses' staff.
Yeah.
On its own, just a stick, right?
Pretty insignificant.
But when he offered it, used it in obedience to God's prompting, it became an instrument of miracles. What seems small or ordinary in your hand can be incredibly powerful when used for its intended purpose.
So the key is, don't compare your staff or your gift to someone else's.
Exactly. Don't compare. And don't bury it like that wicked servant in the parable of the talents who was afraid and just hid what he was given.
Use what you have.
Use what you have. And Jennifer's story on this, it's just phenomenal.
The one who couldn't dance.
Yeah. Avoided proms, weddings, anywhere dancing might happen, felt totally incapable. But then she gets this word, you're a banner carrier. Sees women using flags in church. Even feeling completely unqualified, she just said yes. When opportunities came up, when she felt that nudge, started small,
Hmm.
and now people literally ask her if she teaches dance.
That's incredible. It shows we can be blind to our own gifts sometimes.
Totally. And sometimes you just need to say yes and step out, even if you feel inadequate. Because our gifts, they're meant to be like salt of the earth.
What does that mean in this context?
Salt draws out flavor, it preserves, it creates thirst. Our gifts are meant to draw out the fragrance in others, to make them maybe hungry or thirsty for something more, for God, not just stay in the shaker unused.
Okay, make an impact, create a positive influence.
Yeah, like that artist in China, the university professor.
Yeah.
The speaker just affirmed his creative gift, connected it to the creator. And that interruption turned into a 2-hour spiritual conversation, just by acknowledging and engaging his gift.
That's powerful. Simple affirmation opened a door. Now, the seminar also touched on the 7 motivational gifts. These are often talked about in church circles. Can you give us a quick rundown? How do they fit in?
Sure. These are seen as traditional ways to understand the motivation behind what you do, the underlying drive. They help you see where you might fit best in a community or team.
Oh, yeah. What are they?
So briefly,
Yeah.
there's the prophetic perceiver, often driven to identify and correct what's wrong, like a referee calling a foul for the sake of the game. Then serving, the person who instinctively sees practical needs and just jumps in to help, like the Good Samaritan.
Got it.
Teaching, driven to make truth clear, understandable, accurate. Exhortation, or the encourager who loves to inspire people, help them reach their full potential, urging them on.
Okay.
Giving someone who delights in meeting material needs, often sacrificially.
Mm.
Leader administrator, the organizer, the one who can take a vision and mobilize people to make it happen, like Nehemiah rebuilding the wall. And mercy, the one with deep empathy, drawn to those who are hurting, offering comfort and compassion.
So perceiver, server, teacher, exhorter, giver, leader, mercy, different motivations, different role.
Exactly. And the point is, all are needed. They complement each other. Recognizing your primary motivation and seeing them in others just helps everyone work together better.
Which flows right into the next point. The power of unity and networking. I loved the image used.
The Canadian geese.
Yes.
Yeah.
Flying in that V formation, they fly at, what was it, 71% further together than they could alone.
That's the stat. And if they're not flying together in formation, the implication is they're not planning on going very far. Unity multiplies effectiveness.
Wow. 71%, that's huge.
And it's a principle that works, whether the goal is positive or negative, right? Think about Genesis 11, the Tower of Babel. Their unity and purpose, even a wrong one, was powerful. Or even gangs. Unfortunately, their unity gives them influence.
So it really highlights how important it is to be careful who we network with and maybe what we consume online, what we look at. Who are we aligning with?
Exactly, because unity is powerful. And the vision cast is to use that power positively to influence every sphere of society, as Lauren Cunningham put it.
Right. Government, business, science, family, media, arts, education, the church. All of it.
All of it. And we see examples. The dress designer influencing an unreached people group.
Yeah.
Just through her craft and connections.
Yeah.
Those DVD churches in Malawi reaching into Muslim villages with teaching materials.
Yeah.
The flagpole prayer initiative in Honolulu that reportedly saw a drop in suicides.
Amazing examples of focused, unified action making a difference.
So the encouragement is identify your sphere of influence, where you naturally connect, and then network with others who share a similar heart or vision. Collectively, you can bring God's dream, your shared dream, to life in that area.
So we've really covered a lot, from that deep inner knowing.
Yeah, discovering clues in childhood play.
Refining purpose through identity, character, personality.
Activating it all by unwrapping your gifts, connecting with others.
And influencing your corner of the world. It's all about embracing your unique part in this, well, this bigger divine story.
That's it. Your unique part in God's big dream.
So the call to action for you listening is pretty clear. Actively engage with your own destiny by design. Keep that book, your notes, your insights from this deep dive, maybe your reflections you've had, and keep filling it in.
Yeah, don't let it just sit on a shelf.
Keep asking, what's the next step? And persevere, especially when things get tough. Keep that eternal perspective. Remember Paul writing in 1 Corinthians about being seen as fools for Christ's sake, enduring hardship. The long-term impact is what matters.
Absolutely. Now, here's a final provocative thought for you to chew on. Fast forward 10 years. Imagine it's 2035.
Okay.
You're at some kind of reunion, maybe just reflecting personally. What would you share about how you actually fulfilled the dreams or inklings you have right now? and maybe how it turned out even bigger, even better than you first thought.
That's a powerful exercise.
People at the seminar did this, and the visions were incredible. Serving in multiple countries, bringing healing to missionaries, sparking revival among youth, leading churches, seeing reconciliation in war-torn nations through worship, publishing books, opening retreat centers, seeing families healed, leading people to faith, becoming a psychologist, specializing in trauma, building up churches, leading educational groups, helping people dismantle their own internal barriers. Just amazing potential.
And the point is, just speaking those things out, articulating your dreams and aspirations, there's power in that. It's almost prophetic.
It really can be. It
Yeah.
feels like it breaks things open in the spirit realm, sets things in motion.
So speak out your dreams. Keep your eyes fixed on your ultimate purpose, on Jesus, as the seminar would say, the author and perfecter of your faith.
Let's just keep moving forward.
Okay.
Finish the race you're called to run.